Hi, my name is Dion Rambis. I want to take you on a journey, or more like my race to freedom. See, my background or my Dun and Bradstreet was in the banking and finance industry. See, I grew up in corporate America with some of the largest banks in the world, Bank of America and Wells Fargo, and I learned a ton about money. But one of the greatest things that I learned that I wasn't aware of is that banks aren't interested in helping people. See, they want to put people into debt, right? They want to profit off of the average person. And so as I learned these things, it just made me more and more uncomfortable with the industry. In fact, I learned things like fractional reserve banking, which most would consider it to be a crime. The fact that we actually get in trouble for printing money, and yet banks and nations all across the world are actually printing it at historic rates, right? And so what I've learned is that you have to create your own way of printing money. And that's exactly what I found in entrepreneurship and was able to walk away from banking thanks to entrepreneurship and the home based business industry and created a lifestyle not only where I was able to match my income working part time, but be able to go full time and be a full time parent, full time dad to my three children who are now all college children. But I'm so grateful for that journey because it allowed me to be the full time dad, usually always the only parent, but most certainly the only dad on all the field trips or the doctor's appointments. And so it definitely has been my greatest achievement in life is to be a full-time parent to my three beautiful children. And so that journey made me passionate about teaching and coaching other people in doing the exact same thing. And some of the most incredible people I met along this journey, like many of you may know, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, or what he's known as Rich Dad, right? Because that journey of learning and being taught through his best-selling book series, guys, allowed me to create a blueprint to not only free myself, but to teach those principles to the masses, right? And the books, guys, are priceless. In fact, I taught some of those same principles to my children, playing games like cash flow, right? The most amazing board game. I mean, I literally grew up playing Monopoly in my as a child, but cash flow was like a real life Monopoly. And so I loved playing it for hours with my children, so much so that my children began to even beat me at the game. And that was absolutely rewarding as well. The principles that you can learn in that game, guys, applying them to real life can absolutely set you free. And that's what the best selling book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, laid the foundation for. But when you read Cash Flow Quadrant and where you are actually positioned in the cash flow, it really wakes your eyes, wakes you up and opens your eyes to the reality of things. See, I was a bank manager, and in my mom's eyes, that was the most prestigious job we had in our family, right? Because she only knew what she knew. All she knew was a job. She couldn't teach entrepreneurship because she had never done it, right? So as an employee in working 40 to 50 hours a week as a bank manager, I started to realize that I was not actually setting myself up for freedom, right? I was the asset, right? When you're in the E quadrant, which is not a bad place to start, but ultimately could be a bad place to finish because ultimately you'll run out of gas, right? You're trading time for money, and yet we don't have time forever. And so that's not a bad place to start. But I was able to leverage the home based business industry and start to work part time on my dreams, right? Full time on my job, but working part time on my dreams and became self employed, which a lot of people are there already, right? Some people already are pursuing their dreams and their passions, but they don't have any time freedom, right? Because on the left side of money, you're actually trading time for money. Even self employed may have an incredible income and even an incredible lifestyle, but they have no leverage. So I was able to now set up businesses, not working just part time on my dreams, but set up businesses that created passive income where now you actually can see some time freedom. And this is the systems that work for you instead of you working, right? And that's exactly where most of us want to be, where we don't actually work for money. We're letting money or systems work for us. And that's where the leverage begins, right? And so as I was able to create multiple streams of income and leverage my time, I realized that there was an even greater way, right? Where the wealthy play in the investor quadrant, right? So in that I quadrant, where you start to leverage your money and let your money make money, right? That's absolutely the other side of money. This is where the 5% live, right? Where your money is actually creating income and you're able to not only live and do what you want, where you want, but you actually have limitless freedom. And that led me to what you do in the investment world, to something called trading, right? Because I heard about something called Bitcoin years ago and absolutely fell in love with it. Why? Because of the principles that underlie it, right? The traditional banking system prints money to oblivion, but Bitcoin showed a better way, what you would call hard money, because it's based off of mathematics. And not to get into the details of that, but I began to trade cryptocurrencies. And when I started to do that, I found out something called trade alerts, or what's called trade signals, where the experienced traders will allow you to purchase their prepackaged trades and their experience, and you can actually have potential profits. Basically, a trade alert is training wheels for the new trader, and it gives you a roadmap or guide to what trades to take for potential profits. And guys, it was an amazing awakening for me because I was able to take my money and leverage trade alerts from other experiences, other experienced traders, even though I wasn't an experienced trader, right? And I said, this can help a lot of people, right? Because we have busy careers or busy lives, but we all walk around with a smartphone, and we're able to lock those trades in a matter of seconds and allow ourselves to let our money make money, even though we're living our lives, whatever busy life that we've created for ourselves. And I said to myself, God, this is an amazing way to teach and coach people, right? Giving people a GPS, right? So they can actually allow their money to make money, even though they're not an experienced trader or an expert trader. And the GPS, guys, is exactly what the trade signals can actually do. So I was absolutely excited to share it with the world. And now we have that ability. Not only did I learn it in the cryptocurrency space, but I had a friend of mine call me about Forex, right? So the foreign exchange market was even bigger, right? The largest market in the world, $5+ trillion a day. So most people think of trading, they think of stock markets. Well, let me share with you guys that you could take the largest stock markets in the world, New York, London, and Tokyo, and combine them together. And combined, they don't make up even one day of Forex. Forex is short for foreign exchange currencies, guys, by far the largest market in the world. And wow, being able to receive trade alerts was an amazing blessing because I knew nothing about Forex, but I certainly knew about trade signals. So I began to use a system that a friend recommended to me, and I said, let me give it a try. I deposited $107 into a Forex brokerage account, and of course, I wanted to test it out before I shared it with anybody. So on March 2nd, actually opened a brokerage account, put in $100 worth of Bitcoin, of course, because you know I love some Bitcoin, right? And they converted that into dollars, so I was able to trade. If you notice, my third and my first trade were negative, but the second trade made up for both of them. And I did that for about 10 days, right? Just testing out the model. As you can see, from the March 2nd to March 12th, I was able to grow that $100 balance to over $900 using those trade signals. Guys, I know you would have gotten excited, but I got excited as well. Not just for me, but for what I realized we can do to empower so many people. And so when I investigated it, guys, I realized there was so much more to this than just trade signals. See, the live sessions showed me an even greater understanding. See, a live session is when you have those experienced traders not just sending the alert to your phone and allowing you to plug the trade signals in, but you can actually learn from the experienced traders live in a Zoom session, getting questions answered. And guess what? They still map out trades where you can potentially earn while you're learning. See, I literally tapped my cell phone laying in my bed one morning during the New York session, clicked on my smartphone, joined the live session, and with less than 2 hours, was able to make more money than what most people make all day, maybe even several days, right? Just laying in my bed, taking the trades in a live session. And that was not all, right? There was even more to these suites, the suite of services. The Epic University, that was the foundation where you can actually learn the verbiage and the language. How much you actually don't know is all in the Epic University, because it stair steps and gives you a cookie cutter system for somebody who knows nothing about trading. And that allows you to get into the trade signals, the live sessions, and even understand every aspect. We have a 2-week syllabus, right, that gives you bullet point day by day, the next step, the next step, the next step. So within 2 weeks, you're ready for the markets, right? Able to forecast markets. And the best part is we're in fun, interactive trading community. See, we're a unified body of one. So nobody gets left behind. And that's the best part of what we're doing is we're creating an academy of wealth, but everyone is helping each other along the way. And where would we be, right, not being responsible enough to teach the next generation? That would actually be irresponsible of us, right? So that's our mission, not only to teach the adults, but also share with the next generation, preparing our next generation of millionaires for trading skills that they can have for generations to come. So imagine, guys, being able to go from E to S to B to I. See, that was my journey. Now, where you start, it really doesn't matter, because we all have our own journey to walk. But we all know that we want to be on a specific position in this journey. We just don't know how to get there. And so that's what we're here to do, help people get involved. And so the best part is you get to start out with the 5%, right? The wealthy class on the B and the I quadrant, we begin there. That's the best part, guys. We allow you to start the investment quadrant, and you can get with the person who shared this video with you to understand how we leverage the B quadrant in this opportunity as well. And you can create residual income, because we all want to be in that right side of money, right? But many of us need the program and the teaching and the environment to be successful in doing just that. And so our mission here is to help people get where they want to go, right? But the best way to get there is to know where you are. It's really difficult to know where you're going if you don't know where you are. And we want to be that GPS, that actual system that lets you get where it is you want to go, and give you all the tools and resources, encouragement and environment for you to get there. And so we're excited to share an epic journey with Epic Trading International, because we all know you are already great, right? But we don't want to just be great. We actually want you to be epic. Get back with the person who shared this information with you so we can do just that. Have an epic day.